Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing my 2020 goals. If you followed me for a while, I'm just gonna get comfortable here. We might be here for a while. If you followed me for a while, you know I don't like setting resolutions because of the fact that I feel like our subconscious thinks of them as a joke. There's a running joke in our society about resolutions that, you know, how long until I stop worrying about my resolution, how long till I break my resolution, you know, things like, it's this kind of running joke that we have. And I feel like when you say, oh, I set my 2020 resolutions, we already have failed because our subconscious is telling us we're going to fail. And so instead I have set 2020 goals, and I've also created a vision board. There is a fly in here and it's going to drive me crazy. I've also created a 2020 vision board that I'm going to be putting up a video tomorrow showing you guys me creating it and talking you through each item on there. And it's slightly different from my 2020 goals. Anyway, so I thought I'd go over each goal with you guys, tell you what I'm going to do to actually make the goal happen, as well as why I want to do it. So the first one is bring back my monthly giveaway on YouTube and Instagram. So Instagram, I actually have a giveaway going on right now for a Kylie Cosmetics kit. It has like a lip kit, and I believe it's a lip kit, and maybe it's an eyeshadow, I can't remember. I'll stick a thing up on here. But that's going on my Instagram. And then here on my YouTube channel, I thought, what is the best thing to give away in January? And I thought, you know what I'll do is give away a $75 gift card to Erin Condren so that you can get yourself an Erin Condren planner just to help you start organizing your life, lay out your own 2020 goals, start action planning, and keep everything in one place. So if you want to be entered for that giveaway, click the link down below that says monthly giveaway. It'll take you to a thing on my blog that explains everything you have to do. You have to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. You have to follow my email list. And that's pretty much it. Oh, you have to enter your shipping address so I know where to send it if you do win. And then the winner of this will be announced on February 1st along with the new giveaway for February. So look at that, accomplished one goal already. The second thing on here is be more mindful of how I'm spending my time. I am pretty good about getting stuff done, but I have noticed this past year that I've really gotten out of my good routine habits. I've gotten out of being mindful of how I spend my time because I have had a lot of stress in my work life this past year or two. I have noticed that when I get really stressed out, I will like start looking at Instagram or TikTok or YouTube to distract myself. And then next thing I know, you know, 45 minutes to an hour has gone by and I haven't gotten the work done that needs to get done. So I want to start being really mindful of how I'm spending my time and where I'm spending it, and only spending it in places that are really positive. I also want to start incorporating what I'm calling fun days. One of the hard things about working from home and being your own boss is that it's really easy to get into a 7-day-a-week work week, and that's currently where I'm at. I've been doing that for about 3 or 4 years now, and honestly it's exhausting. I'm not kidding when I tell you, like, mental burnout is so real. And it's really, really unhealthy to just focus on work so intensely and not do anything else with your life. And so one of the things I want to do this year is start incorporating fun days where I start going to the movies again. Maybe I just go wander around the mall. You know, just something to get me out of the house so I'm not home all the time. And also to not focus on work, just because it, like I said, it becomes obsessive. The other thing I want to do this year is I want to go somewhere on a trip. The last time I left this island was in 2013. That's a lie. It was actually in 2014. I went to Las Vegas on a work trip with Dawn and I hated it. I'm not a big fan of Vegas just because I don't like to gamble. I'm not a big drinker. I don't like going clubbing. He has way more fun there than I do, and so I just stopped going when he goes, just because it's not really my jam. And the whole time I was worried about Charlie and Louie. just because we had a dog sitter staying in the house, and having 2 dogs that you're walking can be a lot. And now that it's just Louie, I thought, you know what, it's okay to get a dog sitter to come take care of one dog. I don't have to worry as much because Louie's a lot easier to handle. Charlie was the dramatic one. Most of the things that he did, it was for strictly attention, but yeah, Louie's much easier to handle when out and about, and so I feel like I can relinquish that for a few days and get off this island. It starts to get a little, you know, cabin fever, island bound feeling when you don't go anywhere. I haven't seen my family unless they've come here, and that's really hard for me because my family and I are very, very close. Growing up, we were extremely close. We still are. We talk multiple times a day on the phone, and that doesn't even count, you know, all the texts back and forth and Instagram messages and Facebook messages. So it's really hard for me being so far from them, and I really, really want to travel somewhere, hopefully somewhere where we can all meet and get together. That's something we used to do back in the day, is we would all meet up someplace once a year and do it as like a family reunion, but also as a trip, and I'm really hoping to do that this year. Another thing is focus on my YouTube and Instagram. I'm actually working with somebody who's helping put together my kind of game plan for what it is that I want out of my YouTube and Instagram. I am doing a bit of rebranding this year that I'll talk to you guys about in a later video, but I just feel like I need this space to grow with me if I want to continue doing it, because doing just beauty stuff is not fulfilling for me anymore, and I really, really want to branch it out. And I have some really, what I feel like are really good ideas of things that I would like to do in this space, and I think it's things that you guys would enjoy, because when I've kind of touched on them really lightly in the past, they've gotten really good views or likes on Instagram with comments, and so it's just something that I want to focus a bit more of a priority on this year. Last year was very much like work, 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 work in my main job, and I feel like this year I want to take a bit more time and focus here on these platforms. Another thing I want to do is focus on my fitness this year. I have created very specific goals, and I'll go over them a little bit here, but mostly on my vision board video, of things that I want to accomplish. One of them is I want to get better at yoga. Well, just saying that just like really isn't enough for me. I want to be hyper specific. So by March of this year, I want to be able to get into and hold crow pose. And then by June of this year, I want to be able to get in and hold side crow pose. And by October of this year, I want to be able to do a full handstand and hold it for at least 30 seconds. And then by the end of the year, I want to be able to get into full splits mode, or pose, I guess it would call. I just call it full splits mode. So I've created like these mini goals, and my yoga instructor, who also happens to be my friend, I went over all of this with her. It's a lot of core work, which is where my weakest point fitness-wise is my core. So we're really working on activating that, and I think taking a big goal and turning it into a lot of smaller goals makes it a little bit easier to achieve it. So that's where I'm at on wanting to get better about my fitness. Another thing I want to do this year, and I've already actively been working on it, is pay off all of my debt. I think all of us can relate. We have credit card debt, mortgage, school loans, and I really want to get those off my back. And so one of the things I'm going to be doing this year is spending less so that more of that can be paid off. I've never taken a Dave Ramsey course or read any of his books. Some of the stuff he talks about and some of the stuff he does to run his company I don't really agree with, and so I'm not actively doing any like Dave Ramsey type debt payoff stuff. But I did see an interview one time. He was on Larry King back in the day when Larry King was around, and he had said, when you want to pay off debt, the easiest way to do it is start with the smallest thing and work your way up. So if you have a medical bill for $300 that you haven't paid, or you have, you know, an overdue library book for $75 you haven't paid, pay that first and then take the next smallest one and then the next smallest one. And pretty soon you've paid it all off, but it doesn't feel like it was that hard because you weren't like, oh, I've got $17,000 in student loan debts I need to pay off. Instead, it was a $75 library fee, which that would be a really high library fee. So pay that off if you have one. So that's how I want to do it. Another thing is I want to start waking up early again and actively doing my morning routines. I really got out of the habit of it because we were bogged down in work for the last 6 months. Like, we were knee deep in it, and we still are, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so I want to start actively working on that. I have started since the end of Christmas. I've started getting up at 5 a.m. again. I'm really enjoying that because it's so quiet. I can really genuinely think and like prioritize myself. I'm doing the ADO challenge this year, and that is the time that I'm getting my workouts in as well. And I just find that that 5 a.m. workout or 5 a.m. wake up time, it really is beneficial. So I highly recommend it if you're thinking like you would love to have an hour to yourself. Just change your wake up time. It really does make a difference. Another thing I am making a priority this year is my marriage, my relationship. It's up there with, I was talking to you guys about having like quote unquote fun days. When you both work from home, it's so easy to just talk about work day in and day out and nothing else. And it's also really, really easy to, okay, Louie, to get into habits of that person's always there and you don't need to make any type of effort. And so this year I want to make an effort. This year I want to make a point of like having date nights again. We used to do that all the time. Now we don't. We haven't done it in probably 2 years. I want to make a point of talking about things besides work and talking about things that really matter to us. And so that is the final thing here on my goals list. I'm sure I'll add to it throughout the year, but I like to just start the year off with like a really good foundation of what it is that I want out of that year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to know what your goals for 2020 are. Please leave them down in the comments below, and it might give some of us some ideas of things we need to work on as well. That's why I love reading people's goals. Also, don't forget about the Erin Condren giveaway here on my channel, and don't forget about the Kylie Cosmetics giveaway over on my Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!